Hello, problem solvers. Welcome to day 2 of chapter 7. We are going to talk a little bit here about the problem solving strategy called subproblems. Based on your reading notes yesterday, I think most of you have a pretty good idea of how this strategy works. To summarize a few key points from those reading notes. Basically, all the problem-solving strategies that we've covered and are going to cover this year can be categorized into one of 3 general overall categories. And you wrote these down yesterday. Spatial organization, that would be like chapter 1, drawing a diagram. Organizing information, that would be things like making a systematic list and our guess and check method. But this strategy here is called changing focus, and there's going to be a few different strategies that we look at that fall into this category, and the first one here that we're doing in chapter 7 is called subproblems. The basically general idea in subproblems is you move your focus away from that main problem and concentrate on achieving sub-goals or many little steps along the way to get to your final goal. So basically, after achieving each sub-goal, you then return to the main problem. One of the examples you read about was how many apples, each of which weighs 2 ounces, are needed to balance 3 2-pound weights. I just kind of wanted to show you what your write-up could look like when you're answering a question like this. Basically, anytime you would want to pick up your calculator and type something in, that thing you're typing in should mean something. And I want you to show me that you know what it means. So for example, here would be my steps for this problem. I would start by figuring out how many ounces are in a pound. You might need to look this up online. Use Google. It's your friend. So I Googled this. How many ounces are in the pound? I got 16. I wrote down the question and the answer. Then I figured out how many apples then would be in 1 pound. So that's 16 ounces in a pound divided by each apple is 2 ounces, which is already in the problem. I got 8. Then it says 3 2-pound weights, and this might seem pretty obvious, but it's still something you need to write down because this number 6 shouldn't come out of nowhere. I should show how I got it, and I got it by doing 3 weights at 2 pounds each. 3 times 2 is 6. And finally, if I know, there are 8 apples per pound, and I know there are 6 pounds, how many apples are in 6 pounds? Well, that's 6 times 8 then to get 48. So this is one way you could answer this problem using subproblems. Like you noted in your reading notes, though, not everyone is going to have these exact same steps. Here's another possible way to approach the exact same problem. Again, though, we start with how many ounces are in a pound, 16. Then, how many pounds are in 3 2-pound weights? Again, now, this is the same question as last time, but it's the second one instead of the third, and 2 times 3 is 6. And now here, you can see it gets a little different. You could instead ask how many ounces are there in those 3 2-pound weights, or how many ounces are there in these 6 pounds, and that's, 16 ounces per pound times 6 pounds is a total of 96 ounces. So to make 96 ounces, how many apples is that? Well, how many apples are in 96 ounces? Each apple is 2 ounces, so 96 divided by 2 is 48. And you'll notice that's the same, answer, but different set of questions to get there. Both of these would be great ways, though, to use subproblems to answer this question. And you'll notice you don't need to do any additional sentences explaining your work because basically your questions are your explanations. If you just had this stuff in red, you would have the correct answer, but no explanation of what you're doing or why you're doing it. The stuff that I have here in blue, these are the questions explaining each step in my calculation. So basically, the explanation is the questions that you're writing with the subproblems. And then in red is the work you're doing to answer each one of those questions. And that is a strategy I would like you to practice when you do your homework tonight or today. Even if you think there's another method you would use, I would like you to try practicing this strategy called subproblems. And we are used to doing that. So your homework is those 3 problems. Yeah, good luck. Email me with questions.